What's going on, guys? This is Riggs. Welcome back to the channel. It's a very exciting time in PUBG Mobile with Sanhok coming anytime now. And I do have a couple tips that I want to give you guys. It's kind of like a Sanhok, everything you need to know about Sanhok. Sanhok 101. For those of you guys that have been watching the channel for a while, I've actually been playing this map for the last couple months. So I do have, I guess you could say, a little bit of experience on this map, where to go, where not to go, and some of the changes that are coming with the new 0.8.0 update. And what you guys will be watching on your screen is a solo versus duo first-person perspective Sanhok match. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. So right off the bat, of course, the terrain is going to be a lot different than what you see on Erangel or on Miramar. Obviously, the most closely compared map it would be Erangel. But the big difference between Erangel and Sanhok is, of course, going to be the size difference, which will also tie into ranking, which I'll be getting into. So Sanhok is a 4x4 kilometer map. That's compared to an 8x8 kilometer map for Miramar and Erangel. So it's literally half the size, yet you still have 100 people that are dropping in on this map. Now, as far as how quick a game goes, I know a few people have been asking me how long it takes to complete a match because, it being a much smaller map. If you're going to be in top 10 in Miramar or top 10 in Erangel, it's going to be about 30 minutes, sometimes even 32, 34 minutes, depending, if it gets down to the last circle. The big difference with Sanhok that you'll notice once you start playing it, if you make it into the top 10, you're looking at about a 20 to 22 minute game. I've done a full upload of gameplay on Sanhok where I did no editing. I think the video was 21, maybe 22 minutes long. So what does that mean for ranking? For those of you guys that are pushing, and if you're playing Sanhok, you will be able to rank that much faster, of course, provided that you survive. Because on Erangel or on Miramar, it'll take about an hour to do 2 good games. What I mean by good games is if, you're getting into the top 15, top 10, top, or winning the chicken dinner, it's going to be about 30 minutes, give or take. So that's 2 matches an hour. On Sanhok, you can get 3 matches in an hour, again, provided that you survive. That is huge, squeezing in a whole extra game for those of you guys and girls out there that are trying to push Sanhok, or Sanhok, however you pronounce it. This is the map that you're going to want to rank on, simply based on the fact that you can get that many more games in. Another big difference, I know a lot of people have been asking, about the new weapons. So there are going to be 2 new weapons coming to the game. You're going to be having the QBZ, which I will be displaying. I'll be picking that up in a little bit in this game. But you're going to be having the QBZ, which replaces the Scar L. It is a 4-point attachment weapon. The thing is a beast. It's going to take a little bit getting used to. The recoil is, it's unlike any other fully automatic assault rifle in the game currently, so it'll take some getting used to. I didn't used to like it, but now, the thing is a beast. And for the other weapon, it's going to be the QBU, which is going to be replacing the Mini on the Sanhok map. Now, don't be trying to look for a QBZ or a QBU on Erangel or Miramar. You will never find it, because those 2 weapons are replacing the Scar L and the Mini 14. And the QBU does have a bipod, so when you are prone down, it's pretty much no recoil. It's absolutely amazing. So it's definitely gonna be something that you're going to want to look out for and give it a try. You might really like it. Now, since we're talking about new weapons and loot, the big difference in loot, again, it's a map half the size. This map is pretty much, the way they have the way the developers pretty much designed Sanhok is to get in, get your loot, and pretty much immediately go into battle on the battlegrounds. So when I tell you guys the loot is amazing everywhere, I mean the loot is amazing everywhere. Whereas on Erangel or Miramar, not only are there specific drop locations, but even more so, there's specific buildings on Miramar and Erangel that you want to hit in order to have better chances of better loot. That's not so much the case in Sanhok. You can find good loot anywhere on this map. I mean, the smallest shack, you can find a level 3 helmet, backpack, a QBZ, and 100 rounds to go with it, and some painkillers in like the smallest little building. So pretty much where you're going to drop, of course there are going to be more popular drop locations than others, but I'm telling you guys, and if you guys have noticed, even where I dropped, on purpose I dropped in a pretty remote location at the beginning of this video to see what loot that I found. And still, I mean, the loot is amazing. Level 3 gear you can find in pretty much any any specific drop location, and it's really, really good loot. Again, the idea behind it is anywhere you drop, it's pretty much going to be busy. So the purpose is fast-paced gameplay. I know a lot of people talk about specifically Miramar. That's a much slower map. You could say Sanhok is the complete opposite, not only by terrain, of course, this being like a Southeast Asia theme, kind of like a tropical, Thailand-y, you know, Vietnam style looks to it, but due to the fact that it is very, very fast-paced. Now, so that pretty much explains the loot and you know, how long the games are going to take. How, for those of you that are pushing, being able to squeeze in a whole extra game in classic mode in 1 hour. So we pretty much covered that. Now, as far as the places that you want to hit, the 3 camps, Camp Alpha, Camp Bravo, Camp Charlie, those are going to be very busy areas. The #1 busiest place, and the place I recommend you drop to first, is smack dab right in the center of the map. You cannot miss it. It's called Boot Camp. For a while before I found out what the translations were, shout out to Rogers. He's helped me a lot on this map. In the Chinese version, you know, translating and trying to figure everything out. Again, big shout out to Rogers. Is Boot Camp. It's right in the center of the map, and it's nothing like any other drop location compared to Miramar or Erangel. Boot Camp. Again, it's going to depend how many real people there are in the lobby, but I've been to boot camp where you could have 30 to 40 people dropping in boot camp. It is unreal how insane this drop location is. Not only is the loot amazing, but just the overall looks to it, all the different buildings, the structures, the warehouses, and the fact that, again, trust me when I tell you, there's loot everywhere, and everybody drops in boot camp. It's like Hacienda, School, and Picado pretty much all rolled into one. It is freaking lit. And again, I would definitely recommend dropping there first. And again, it's the center of the map. You're going to get at least a few zones, the first few zones there. And you will have a lot of fun. You will fall in love with this map dropping there. Another big place that you want to drop to that's kind of on the outskirts, but the loot is amazing, the looks to it are beautiful, is I believe on the map it's called the Docks. But pretty much it's in the northwestern side of the map. It's basically like a shipyard where there's 2 boats pretty much attached to a dock. And there's also a few warehouses there and a couple other buildings. The loot there is incredible. It's also a very busy drop location that you're going to want to check out. And as far as the overall looks, again, it is like a southeastern or a Southeast Asia look to it. But you're definitely going to notice that the colors pop a lot more. One thing about Erangel is sometimes the colors, not in a bad way, but it's just a lot more bland. It seems a lot more dull. On this map, I mean, the way that the developers the way they designed this map, I mean, the colors just pop between the sand, the trees, the rocks, the grass, the roads. I mean, just everything really pops out, which also helps because it makes it very easy to see people, which can be obviously be very, very helpful. And since we're talking about terrain, that is also something that's very, very unique. It's something unlike any other. It's pretty much three islands, two bigger ones. You have one smaller island. There's a bunch of bridges. One thing you can't really do, or that you don't see often on Miramar, is bridge camping, but you do see it quite a bit in Erangel. You're going to see it even more in Sanhok because there's so many bridges, and the fact that there's 3 islands. Is it 4 islands? I think it's 3 islands in total, but a bunch of bridges. So be prepared for some epic bridge camping that is going to take place on this map right here. Another thing you want to pay attention to, for those of you that are going to be playing this map on in third-person perspective, be prepared to prone. That was hard to say. You're going to see a lot of proning because the grass is that much taller on this map compared to Erangel. You are going to see a lot of proning, especially in the final circle. But in first person, it's going to make the final circles that much more interesting, especially when you have a final circle that pretty much ends like on a hillside where there's not a lot of structures. There's going to be some awesome gameplay that is going to be headed your guys' way. Be prepared for it. Again, it is action-packed. Another thing you want to pay attention to is the grass and rendering. If you are crouched down or if you're prone down in grass where someone can see you from a far distance, that grass will not render and you will be able to be picked off. So just be aware of your surroundings. All right, and last thing we're going to cover is the flare gun. I know a few of you guys have asked about it. It is going to be coming to the new update. I've played about 100 games, give or take, on the Chinese version. I've yet to find the flare gun, so best of luck. It's going to be something it's going to be something you're not going to be searching for. You're just going to find it. And for those of you that don't know, if you shoot it inside of the safe zone, you do get an airdrop that has double the loot of a normal airdrop. If you shoot it outside of the safe zone, you get an armored UAZ. So I'll do my best to bring that footage for you guys once the update hits the global version. But I have had a tough time trying to find the flare gun. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Everything you need to know about Sanhok so you guys get prepared. But yeah, the update is coming. I appreciate all you guys that are new to the channel for subscribing, so I urge you to do so now. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed it. Let me know your comments, questions, or concerns down in the comment section. But this has been Riggs from Riggs Gaming. See you in the next one.